What is going on, lads? Welcome to the Friday night football review for round number 25 of the 2024 NRL season. What a crazy and bizarre Friday night football we have just seen. We saw the Bulldogs go to New Zealand and beat the Warriors in the earlier game, 34 points to 18. And we just saw the Broncos defeat the Eels, 30 points to 24 out at Suncorp Stadium up there in Brisbane. Fairly entertaining game, not the greatest, like quality wise, but Broncos were playing for their season and they ended up getting the 2 points, which is very important for them. But if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to like the stream and subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate that. And if you're a regular viewer, I appreciate you for tuning in once again. Hello to the live chat. Hello to Lockie. Hello to Luke, GTT, Neutralizer, SS Storm fan, Abraha. Hello, everyone that's here. Hope you are all doing well. And if you guys, also, guys, I also need to say, this live stream is sponsored by TBC Live, guys. I've been saying it a lot this week, and I'm telling you, you got to get around it, man. Make sure you guys go onto the App Store or on the Google Play Store and download TBC Live. It is a terrific way to interact with fans and content creators such as myself who are on the app, and you go on there and you predict outcomes of the match while it's on, and you can win weekly prizes as well. So, guys, get around TBC Live, download the app today, and join us tomorrow for Super Saturday. I'll be on there, and it's going to be a good time, so make sure you check out TBC Live. Shout out to TBC Live. Fantastic. All right, guys. Friday night football review. Warriors versus Bulldogs. We're going to start with that game, man. And look, a couple of things that I need to say about this game. Well done to the Bulldogs. They have now cemented themselves in the finals. Well done to them. They haven't played finals since 2016. I saw a few social media videos online. The Bulldogs are going berserk, man. Belmore is absolutely going off its head right now. Belmore is up and about. I don't blame them, to be honest. Good on them. It's been a long time for the Bulldogs. Fair play to them. There was one bad decision in this game that we need to talk about right off the bat. Stephen Crichton not getting sin binned. What a complete embarrassment. What a complete disgrace. Stephen Crichton with a shoulder to the head on Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, who ends up with a Category 1 HIA, which is an automatic 10-day stand down, and he won't play. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck will not be playing next week, and he's out for the year. Warriors don't play last round. Stephen Crichton should have been sin binned. It's clear as day. He should have been sent to the sin bin. And in my opinion, the game absolutely changed after that decision. The game changed. I think it was like 7 or 8 minutes later, the Bulldogs ended up scoring to make it 28-18, and the game was over. Game was over at that point. It was a terrible decision. And look, man, we can talk about how the Warriors were not like the Warriors didn't play the greatest, and that is true, absolutely true. But my God, that decision was a complete game changer. Killed the momentum of the game. Absolutely killed the game. And that's why the score ended up as it did, because of that bad decision. And I haven't watched the press conferences. I haven't checked out Andrew Webster's press conference, but I imagine he wouldn't have been happy with it. I imagine he wouldn't be happy. And here's what's going to happen on Monday morning. You're going to hear Graham Annesley from the NRL. He's going to come out on his morning briefly show, whatever it's called, and he's going to say they got it absolutely wrong and he should have been in the bin. That's all you're going to hear from his mouth. And if he says it was the right decision, then he must be on drugs, because we saw last night in the Tigers and Manly game, Corey Waddell gets sin binned for something way, way less than what that Stephen Crichton shot was. Now, if you watch the Stephen Crichton, shoulder to the head, it probably isn't as bad as ones that we've seen this year. But I have seen ones that are way worse. Or I've seen ones that aren't even as bad. Bin sin bins. So I'm really intrigued to see Graham Annesley's apology on Monday. I'm sure he's probably already rang the Warriors and apologized. I'm sure it's already happened. I'm sure of it. But terrible decision. Absolute game changer. At that point, I'm pretty sure it was 22-18 Dogs. Game wasn't over. Warriors were still in the contest. But look, man, the Bulldogs did what they had to do. The Bulldogs did enough to win. And fair play to them. Well done to the Dogs. I'm happy for them. I thought they were probably the better team the longer the game went on, but we can't deny how bad of a decision that was. Like, that was an absolute disgrace. I'm not going to say Warriors were robbed or anything, but it definitely had a effect on them. That is for sure. Now, the tries in this Warriors-Bulldogs game, obviously the Warriors, they scored first from Marcelo Montoya. Capewell scored a try, and Wade Egan got one before half-time. For the Dogs, tries to Bronson Sherry, Stephen Crichton, Josh Adokar, Karaz. Curtis Morin got one in there, and Harry Hayes got one. I swear that's Harry Hayes' first ever try. I swear. I could be wrong. I swear it's his first ever try. If it is, fair play to him. But the Warriors have got a bad habit of doing this, man. Like, we saw at the start of the year where the Warriors did this shit. They get off to a great start. Warriors would go up 8 or 12-0, and they have like 80 to 85% of the ball. They look so dominant. They look like they're gonna put 20 on someone, and then they go to 12-0, and then they just drop their guard. The other team gets a bit of possession. They get a few opportunities, and then teams just go bang, 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 try, and all of a sudden you're going, what the hell happened there? Honestly, you could have tuned into the first 20 minutes of this Warriors-Dogs game, and Warriors up 12-0. You could have drove to the shop and back, get back home, and you're like, what the hell? It's 16-12 Bulldogs. How'd that happen? Where'd that come from? You wouldn't have believed it. It was absolutely insane. And how about this weekend? Teams leading and getting run down. We saw last night, Manly 16-0, get run down by the Tigers. We saw tonight, Parramatta 16-0, get run down by the Broncos. And then obviously in the earlier game, Warriors, 12-0 and got run down. So absolutely insane. 10-0 or 12-0, I can't remember what it was, but just crazy. Absolutely crazy. Bulldogs are going to be playing finals footy. It's a great story. It might be the story of the season. Fair play to them. Their defense has been pretty good, the Bulldogs. I think they've got the best defense in the comp at the moment on stats. I think it's them or Penrith, one of the two. Anyway, they're up there with the best defense in the competition. They're playing well. The Bulldogs. And next week, Bulldogs vs Manly. Very, very big game. Very big game. I wish they could change the time slot. Friday, 6 o'clock for Bulldogs Manly. Just doesn't sit right with me. I wish they could rotate the Penrith South game with the Dogs and Manly game, because Dogs and Manly next week is going to be an absolute blockbuster. I reckon they get 35,000. Maybe at a core. Maybe the time slot won't prevent 30,000, but my God. Bulldogs Manly, seriously, get off work early, because that is going to be an absolute cracker next week. Now, Warriors, obviously the Shaun Johnson situation, Shaun Johnson's last game in New Zealand. I thought the Warriors' entrance was outstanding. Great to see Shaun Johnson come out last, and he was obviously in tears before the game. And good to see Shaun Johnson just embracing the moment. And the Warriors did a great job with honouring Shaun Johnson, Jazz Tavago, and I think Dylan Walker as well, who might be leaving. But just fantastic stuff. Great stuff. But in the end, Bulldogs just a little bit too good at the moment. Their class in defense just frustrated the Warriors too much, and they got it done well under the Dogs. My player of the game. Oh, look, there's a few that stood out for the Dogs, man. Like I thought there were quite a few good players for them tonight. Actually, I thought Max King, thought he was really good. I thought Harry Hayes was good. Stephen Crichton had a good game. Carraz took some really good under the high ball type of stuff. There were a lot of great players for the Bulldogs tonight, man. There were a lot. But for me, my player of the game, I'm going to give it to... Oh, tough one, isn't it? Player of the game. Look, you know what? It's easy to give it to Matt Burton, and like you probably could if you wanted to, because Matt Burton's just consistently doing well. But I'm just so impressed with what I'm seeing from Connor Tracy lately. I just think tonight he played really well again. So I'm going to give Connor Tracy the player of the game. I thought he had a very good game. So I'll give him the player of the game in that one. And the final game, Broncos 30, Eels 24. This game was whatever. It was entertaining and it had some good moments. Parramatta got out to a 16-0 lead and they looked hot. They looked really hot. It was like when they played against Penrith a couple of weeks ago. They looked really hot in that last 20 minutes and then they just let it drop. First try of the game was Will Penasini. He scored the first try of the game at right centre. He had a really good game tonight, Penasini. Offering Gowie scored and Sevo scored. And Lane got one late. For the Broncos, tries to Sailor. Josh Rogers at 5'8". Selwyn Cobbo got a try. Adam Reynolds got a very lucky try. Probably the luckiest intercept try I've ever seen. And Staggs got one as well. This game was really bizarre because Parramatta looked really good early on. 16-0 start, looked really good. Then Brisbane fought back. Sailor scored a very nice try. And then Josh Rogers, a very soft one as well. He went over. 16-12 at halftime. The Broncos were humming, and they were coming to get them. They really were. It was a bit back and forth there for the start of the second half. It felt like the Broncos were on top, but the scoreboard was still in favour of Parramatta. And then obviously, Cobbo ended up scoring with a very nice pass from Tristan Sailor. Broncos end up going in front there at 18-16. And then Reynolds scored off that intercept, and we all thought it was game over. What was it then? 24 to something? Was it 24-16? Whatever the bloody score was. Anyway, Parramatta ended up fighting back. Oh, no, hang on. It was 18-12. Then it was 18-all. Then it was 24-18 Brisbane. Then Staggs got that try, and we all thought that was game over. And then Sean Lane scores off a grubber kick. Just. Next minute, it's 30-24. Broncos still in front. Thought Reynolds was going to go for a field goal at one point, but he didn't do it. Didn't want to risk a 7-tackle set. And then I think he kicked the ball out in the full, actually, Reynolds. And then Parramatta were on about 35 out, 40 out. They had a chance, and then they knocked the ball on. And that was pretty much it. The Broncos end up winning 30-24. And it pains me to say it, but the Broncos season is mathematically and still alive. If the Dragons get beaten on Sunday and the Dolphins lose tomorrow to the Storm, that Broncos and Dolphins game next Saturday night is going to be an absolute must-see. Season on the line for both teams. It's going to be a big event. But they need the Dragons to drop a game because I think if Dragons win 2 out of 3, I don't think Broncos and Dolphins can get there because Dragons are already a game ahead. And if the Dragons were to drop one, if they win, if the Dragons were to drop one, I think they just have to win 2 out of 3 and they get there. So Dragons have probably got the softer draw out of them all, man, because Dolphins are going to play Melbourne, Brisbane, and then the Knights in Newcastle, which won't be easy. Broncos have got the Dolphins and the Storm. Tough draw there. And then obviously the Dragons have got the Sharks, which is a big game. They've got the Eels next week at CommBank. Now, they should beat the Eels. They should. It won't be an easy game for them. It might be a danger game, but you expect the Dragons to win that. And then they finish off with the Raiders at Cogra. So some really important games coming up for all three of them. Broncos and Dolphins next week. Loser of that, bye-bye. Loser of that, bye-bye. Dragons, I mean, I'll tell you this. Every Dolphins and Broncos fan and Knights fan are all cheering for the Sharks on Sunday. That's a fact. So we'll see what happens there, man. But my player of the game tonight, look, there was a couple. I thought Reynolds was good. I thought Cobbo was good. Staggs was good. Sailor was terrific. Paddy Carrigan was great as always. For the Eels, though, shout out to Joe Ofahengaue and Will Penasini. I thought they were both very good tonight. I thought there was a few that were really good, man. Makatoa had some good moments. But Broncos, they get it done, man. They had to win, and they got it done. So fair play to them. Player of the game, I'm actually going to give it to Tristan Sailor. I know defensively, Sailor is very hit and miss, but I thought his attack tonight was really good. So Tristan Sailor is my player of the game. But guys, that's where the review comes to an end. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Saturday night football review. Until tomorrow or until next time, see you later.